Hi you guys, welcome to Seint and your new 3D compact. Hopefully you've got it in your hands already and you're starting to kind of look it over. My name is Lena. If we haven't met in person, it's so nice to meet you. I just want you to know that I am your Seint best friend. So if you have any questions, concerns, troubleshooting, want to look at colors, message me. That's my job. That's what I'm here for. I love sharing this makeup because it's truly changed my life for the last 4+ years. And I just love sharing it because it looks so beautiful on all skin types, all ages, and it's actually easy to use once you figure it out. It takes a couple times of practicing with the makeup to figure out how to work with our creams. But once you get that technique down, and I promise it's not hard, you're going to love applying your makeup. When I sit at my vanity in the morning and I apply this stuff, it's like a painter's palette. I get to be creative. Or I also know that if I'm in a hurry and I need to be out the door in 5 minutes, I have a system that's going to get me out the door in 5 minutes and I'm gonna look put together. So that's what I love, is the stress-free application. And I know no matter how bad of a day I'm having or how crazy I look, these colors are made for my skin tone. I put all the colors that I put in here personally for what I like, so I know every application I put on my face I'm going to love. I've had so many experiences where I've gone to like an event and I spent hours on my makeup and I got at the end and I'm like, oh, I just hate it. Or I'd get that awful flashback from, phones and flash photography and stuff like that. This does not do that for me. If I screw up on a blush color, easily fix it. Like, this makeup works so good. If you put the wrong color on, you can wipe it away and fix it really quick. There's no starting from scratch like old makeup. So I'm excited that you're here. Hopefully you have your compact ready in front of you. It should be empty, and then you will get tins like this with the product. You'll just take your thumb and slide it out, just like that. And then you will put it in your compact. It's all magnetic. And then when you run out of a color, so our tins are gonna last you a really long time. The ones you're gonna go through the most are your highlight colors, just because you will be using most of that compared to the other, like the amount of it, you're gonna use more highlight than anything. So when you run out of a color, you're gonna take your fingernail, or if it's a little too tight in there, take the lid of your tops or a bobby pin or your eyebrow tweezers, just something to get in there, and you are going to pop it up just like that, okay? And you will take it out of your compact. You'll have one missing. Pretend this is empty. You'll go on the website, you'll order that one or add a couple to your cart, whichever, and you'll get the one in the mail and you'll replace it. So like I said, you just push it up, take it out. The name of the product is on the back, and you will just pop it into your compact, and it's all magnetic. So it fits right here in the palm of your hand. The way I like to travel with my makeup is I will take my travel bag, my compact, my brushes, my sponge, and our bottles are much smaller. They are this size. We have a gray one for our stay spray, so I will put my stay spray, and that's all your makeup in one. So what's cool too is you can travel with your makeup through TSA. The only thing that you'd have to switch out is putting this in a smaller bottle, or we have the travel size for ounces if you're gonna carry the liquids on. But everything else, the makeup itself, goes through security just fine. So I will pack my makeup in my carry-on or my purse anytime I fly, and they never check it, nothing. It is TSA approved, and it is perfect to travel with, and this is what you can take on the go. If you're a busy mom and you have places to go after you drop your kids off, do your makeup in the car. You have your compact, you have everything you need. It just fits with you on the go. My one thing I want you to remember, it is cream, so please don't leave it in your car. It will melt and it'll just be a big mess. Some of the product can be salvaged, but usually it kind of just blends all together. So please put it in your purse and take it into the store with you or into the business you're working at with you, just so it stays in a cooler spot. In the winter, if you leave it in the car or you don't get to your mailbox quite quick enough to pick up your package, the creams may be a little bit hard because it's so cold. So either warm them up with your finger and then use the dot method to warm it up on your face, or take your blow dryer and just hit it a few passes with the blow dryer, and that will warm up your makeup so it'll glide on your skin like butter. If it's too hard, you're gonna be like digging in and not loving how you're applying it. So just get it a little warm. Okay, so first thing I like to do in the morning when I wake up is my skincare. And I love using our Milk Moisturizer day and night to just moisturize my skin. But I'll also put serums, my SPF, everything like that on my skin as well. And I just let these products soak into my skin for a good 15-20 minutes. If I'm in a hurry, it's not gonna hurt if I just immediately put it on. But you know, kind of make it a habit to wake up, do your skincare, go get your coffee, that kind of thing, let it soak in, and then you can start. Your compact and all your tins, they're gonna look like this. They have a metal, beautiful tin cover. Then just take your thumb and you'll slide it out like that. That's really the easiest way to get the colors out. When I first saw how little these looked, I was like, holy cow, I'm gonna run out of this so fast. But like I said earlier, our creams are super pigmented, so a tiny bit goes a really long way. So you'll actually be surprised at how long your makeup will last. The quickest thing that you'll go through is your main highlight, which is like your all over foundation. But that can be anywhere from 2 to 5 months, just depending on how much you use and how often you use it. Also on the back, it will say Seint and then the name of the product. So if you're not sure what color you're working with, just pull it out of your compact and you can read the back. And then you will grab the tin. It is magnetic and it pops into your compact. So you'll put it in just like that. So this is how I like to set my compact up, completely up to you. I will put my contour first, my darkest highlight, that's like my color correcting shade, my middle highlight, which is kind of the one that's closest to my skin tone. You may have 2 or 3 highlight colors, so depending on what you have, just put it from darkest to lightest. Then I will put my brighter highlight color here. So I use this to color correct dark pigment, like blue circles, dark red, blemishes. That's what this color's for. This one is that bridge that matches my actual skin tone the best. And then this one's my brightening pop concealer color. If you have darkness under your eyes, don't go in with this first, just because you'll show texture and you won't love the way the finish is. So you'll end up putting a tiny bit of that dark color to color correct, and then you'll lightly blend the lighter one on top to really diffuse that out and give you that beautiful bright under eye you want. Then bronzers. I have reasons for having 2. If you just have one bronzer, put the bronzer in next, and I'll kind of explain later why I like both tan lines and Bella. Then on the next layer, I will do my lip and cheeks, and I'm just going to show you a different way you can organize them just so you have your options. It like this. So you can stack them like that if you'd like. And then you can even do this. Like, you can literally rearrange it a couple different ways in these compacts. So I put illuminator, my lip and cheeks, my lip liner, because I love my lip liner. So then the last 2 spots are for my eyeshadows. So what's cool is our eyeshadows are the same size as our large tins, so that's why you can get 2 in there. So this will hold all my makeup. If you want to have more options and have everything you could possibly need in your compact, then I would suggest getting our bigger compact sizes. Getting a larger compact that can literally hold your entire makeup collection, from eyeliner, brows, brow wax, eyeshadows, powders, perfume, your makeup, lip and cheeks, all the things. It really makes having it convenient that everything fits in one compact. So just remember that when you're purchasing your compacts about how much you want to grow into. You can always upgrade later and then use your smaller one that you still have as like your powders or the things that you don't use all the time, just your extra compact. So before you apply your creams, a step that I like to do, it's optional if you choose to do it or not, but I definitely recommend trying it a couple days in a row with this method and then maybe a couple days without and see how you like your application. I take my sponge, my Perfector sponge, and I take our Stay Setting Spray, which comes in a nicer bottle than this. Mine just broke, so I was out traveling and that's what I had. And I will press that Stay Setting Spray all over my skin as a primer. This will just prep my skin, get it ready for creams, and it will help to make my makeup last longer. So like I said, I don't have a personal preference. I just love the way this smells and feels on my skin, and I really do feel like it makes a difference. But you be the judge, play around with it, and decide if this is the way you want to apply it or if you just want to jump right into your makeup. All right, so you're gonna grab your compact. It's all gonna be in the palm of your hand, and then you're gonna grab your brush. If you grab the detail brush, grab this one right here. If you grabbed our 3D brush, you're gonna be using the dome side, and we're gonna do contour first. So you can kind of pinch it together and use this, or just grab your broom side of your contour brush, and you are going to take the brush and kind of kitten paw, tap it into the product. Our creams are very pigmented, and the difference with our highlights and contours, our highlights are a lot softer consistency than our contours. They're a little bit firmer, so I press in a little harder on my contour first. Highlights, I'll do 1 or 2 taps and that's it to get it on my brush because it's super creamy. I'm gonna do the brush application on this side of my face and my dot method on this side of my face. So I love starting with contour first because it really just helps to give you a roadmap to your face. So you're going to start from temple to temple, and I'm going to use my brush. So I'm just going to press, tap, kind of buff it into my skin, just like that, okay? And using the brush, it already starts to blend it out nicely. If I use my finger as the dot method, sorry, I'll move my brush. I'm just going to apply it like this. Temple to temple as well. And we're gonna blend that later, okay? So just apply it just like that, or with your brush where it's already applying. Then we're gonna find your cheekbone. So a good rule of thumb, at the base of the top part of your ear where it hits your face, you'll feel your cheekbone, and you can actually press it and feel where that is. And we are just going to hug that cheekbone and almost give it like a little shelf to sit on. That is going to give your face dimension and lift. But what's cool is our contours actually have coverage. So you're also getting foundation coverage here because you're using the contour. On this side, I'm using my finger, and I like to just swipe this one on instead of using the dots. That's just personal preference because you can actually feel your cheekbone as you glide onto it. And I'll just do it a little bit wider in the back part of my cheek like I did over here. And again, this is harsher. This is still a little harsh, but it's blending out because I'm using that brush. So your first 3 lines of contour, temple to temple is 1, under each cheekbone, that's 2 and 3. And then your last line of contour is along that jawline because we have that natural shadow there. And if you're using your brush, I always start to blend it down as I'm applying it, so you never get that line of demarcation. Makes it super simple. Then with this side, I will just take my finger and follow it along. But if you do this method with your fingers, you are going to want to remember to blend that. So that's just a little helpful tip. You can use this to contour your nose if you'd like. I'm gonna just put a little bit extra I have on my finger in my lid, just to kind of color correct and add depth to my eyes. Contour and most of our products can be used in many, many ways. So a cool trick to do for your contour of the nose is either use your brush like I said on the side, or take a little contour on your ring fingers and then get that line on top of the nose as close together as you can so you see that brightness, and that will help to slim your nose. And then any extra I just kind of wipe under my nostril because it'll all blend together nicely. You can even put it under your lip if you want a little bit more of a pout, but these are the, the spots that you can apply contour, and we're gonna go from there. So contour was first, now the darkest highlight, because I put it in that order. I'm going to go in with the darkest pigment on the darkest colors of my face. So I've got a little bit of redness between my eyes, darkness under my eyes, redness from broken capillaries right here, redness from a little bit of rosacea, and it's already starting to blend that out to where it disappears. And I put the darker highlight color on my lip just because I've got that shadow from hyperpigmentation. And what's left over, I kind of brush under my brow, just like that. So that was my darkest highlight right here. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing, but with the dot method. So I'm just gonna dot it in that blue, dot it on these broken capillaries and hyperpigmentation I have on the left side of my cheek. Okay, starting to color correct. The dots, putting a little around your nose because we're typically red there. These blemishes are driving me nuts, so I'm gonna put that darker color there. At the end, when we blend it all out, if it still needs a little touch up on blemishes, you can do that at the end. You can get as full coverage and detailed with this makeup as you want, or literally just very light coverage and still have something show through. I'm not super picky all the time about my blemishes. People with freckles that want them to show, they'll just do a light coverage to still let them peek through. Do the dot method with the middle color. And that one will go like right around those spot treatments I have, so I can kind of blend it all together. Now, if you only have a dark color and a bright color, then you're just gonna be using the dark color all over, and then you'll brighten in the center, so you'll leave the center parts out. Okay, so that's good. Then I'm gonna use that dome side to start blending it over here. And what I was saying is our highlights are very soft, so just 1 or 2 dots of your brush into that, and it starts to blend out your makeup so nice. Just 1, 2. And look, it's just giving me a beautiful finish by placing the colors in the right spots. Okay, then I'm going to take I'm gonna use my detail brush just because I have it, it's smaller. I'm going to take my brightening pop, put that in my inner corner and kind of feather it out. Add a little bit of a lift right here. And then I'm gonna use my finger, Go down between that nose contour if you did it. If you did not do nose contour, you can actually just like fake a contour by putting that bright color down the bridge of your nose, and it'll look like you contoured your nose. Oops. I'm getting the brush and the finger mixed up. So just put a little bit here, a little bit there. And a trick I like to do along my jawline, not my jawline, underneath my contour to make it pop even more, is take that lighter, brighter color just along there, okay? Totally up to you if you want to do that or not. Okay, so I'm going to kind of blend that lighter, brighter color out on this side. But either way you apply it, it's going to give you that same end result that you're wanting. I prefer the brush for daily use. I love showing this because you can literally put your makeup on in one layer in like 5 minutes. So you can dot it all on and then blend it together. So either way is amazing. I'm going to take my brush now on this side, because this one I'm going to blend out first. And I take tapping motions, and you are going to soften that contour and highlight area by just pressing it together, if you can see that. Okay, and then take a little bit down my nose. Look at how flawless, even, but my face is lifted, my face is dimensional. It just, so much better. I love this makeup. So now you can either use the 3D brush or the blush bronzer to blend out the dot method. And I love to start with the lighter colors first. You just press and go. You can do little swirls if you want, but I try not to swirl too much. It's more of like a pressing motion. And then just make sure you've got that neck blended out. For your cheeks, always blend up and back to create lift instead of droopy downward beard area kind of thing. And then press out this contour over here and just get into your hairline. So now you can see both sides are nice and blended using two different methods to get the same end result. If for whatever reason, no matter what way you apply it, say your contour blended away a little bit too much, just go back in and add just a little bit more. Because you're using so little, you can add a little bit more and it's still not going to feel heavy. We're just doing the little tap taps and the blend blends. So either way, you're going to love this makeup. And there's so many different ways to get different looks by just changing out your colors or your tools. So each of our brushes have different purposes, and I can explain those later to you as well. Okay, so you just highlighted and contoured using the basics of 3D foundation. You did your contour to give dimension, chisel out your face, add that beautiful natural shadow that you lose when you put one foundation color on. You just look very flat. This helps to give you that dimension without having to layer a ton of products. So we start with this, you get your coverage. Then we went in with our highlight colors. And like I said, if you just have two, start with your darker color first to go pretty much all over in any area that has dark pigment, like melasma, dark circles, redness, acne, large pores, things like that. Focus the darker color on the darkest spots. Brighter color, you'll stick to the center of your face. So I like to put a dot under each eye. a dot out here if you want. Play around with both and see which one you like. Definitely do the center between your brows, along the bridge of your nose. I put a little bit on my Cupid's bow and my chin, and it just helps to add that like 3D effect to your makeup to give you that extra dimension and glow. I'm not kidding with this makeup. It is next level when you see women wearing it. I went to a conference in Vegas at the Paris Hotel for Seint. It was my first conference. And without any name tags or anything saying they were a part of the conference too, I could literally pick out the girls that had Seint makeup on versus just traditional makeup, because it doesn't leave your skin super dry, powdery, matte. It just gives a gorgeous glow on your face that like I never knew was possible. So Kara, the creator of Seint and everything that went into it, she really knocked it out of the park with this. I literally adore this makeup and adore that woman for her coming up with a formula that works for so many different people. So you just completed your highlight and contour for your makeup, and you can leave it at this if that's where you want to begin, but let's add a few extras because most likely you got a couple extras in your compact, so let's go over those. So I'm taking my blush bronzer brush and my bronzer. This comes in a bundle where you end up saving, I think it's $10. And the difference between bronzer and contour, there's a couple. For one, bronzer is warmer, so it's going to mimic the sun-kissed glow that the sun would naturally give your face. Contour mimics shadows, so that's why it's a little bit cooler of a tone, mimicking that shadow, acting kind of like Spanx for your face. Like when we wear black clothing, it recedes and hides the things that we're, we've got going on down there. So just think of it like black pants for your face. It slims. Contour has coverage. Bronzer is sheer. So it's just a sheer wash of warmth to add a little bit of glow. So I just tapped very lightly into bronzer. It's very similar to our highlights where it's very creamy and easy to pick up. So just use a little bit, and we're just going to put that right here above our brow. And I like to work in like a C shape. I'll go at the highest points on my cheekbones. So kind of on my contour and slightly above to add that warmth, and then I'll come around my eye. And this just adds a little bit of warmth, and it also helps to blend out that contour just a little bit more. Another tap tap. You can blend it down your neck to give you that warmth. You can brush it on your nose if you want to add a little more sun-kissed, but it just adds that little bit of warmth, and you can add more if you want. Super bronzed goddess look, or just a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's just adding a little bit of warmth compared to that contour. And like I said, it's sheer, so it blends out and with your 3D foundation perfectly. So just tap, tap, and blend. Tap, tap, just to get a little bit. Bella is seriously one of the prettiest bronzers. It doesn't make you look orange. It's not shimmery at all. None of our bronzers are, so you don't get that like artificial shimmer. It just gives you that beautiful glow. Another tip I love with Bella is actually putting that on my eyes. So I will take either my finger or my detail brush or my smudge brush, eyeshadow brush, and I will put a little wash of Bella as eyeshadow. And I'll show you the difference. I do have a little bit of the contour, but it just adds a little bit of warmth and dimension to your eyes. It's so pretty. I love it. So just tap, tap, blend it out. Just like that. And with whatever color you're kind of doing as a wash on your lids, go on your lids, in your crease, and then slightly above and kind of feather it out. So it just kind of diffuses it. It makes my hooded eyes appear more awake, because when I open my eyes, you can barely see, this one you can see more, but this one you can barely see my lid. So if you put colors on your lid, it just kind of disappears. If you have more open eyes and not hooded eyes, you can definitely see your eyeshadows way better. But any of us that don't have that and our lid kind of folds back into our eyes, going in the crease and slightly above is going to be a game changer. Now our eyelids crease, so using any type of cream on your lids can be prone to creasing. I don't really care. I just kind of tap it out anywhere it gets a little creased, or you can set it with a powder eyeshadow and it will set the creams. But if you just want a quick out the door look using the few colors you have on the top, your contour, your highlights, and your bronzer, this would like totally make me happy. I could walk out the door and be fine. We are gonna jump onto the bottom layer and do some lip and cheeks, illuminator, that kind of stuff. Okay, next part of our 3D foundation is lip and cheeks, illuminator, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to I'm actually gonna first line my lips. I'm gonna take my multitasker brush. This is a great brush for so many different things, but it's great for lining your lips and applying lipstick. And it also is double-ended. And this is our suede, lip liner. So I follow the natural line of my lip. If I ever go outside of my lip line, it's just on top and on bottom. But for now, I'm gonna just stick with following. Here I'm going slightly under, just right here. Just to add a shadow for like a little tabletop to make it more potty. On the inner corners, I fill it in more without going outside of my lip line, because I don't want my lips to be wider. I just want the top part to be wider. So this I go directly on to create that shadow inside. Just like that. So I've got my lip liner on, now I'm gonna apply my blush. So I'm gonna go into this color called Royal. This is one of my favorite lip and cheek colors. I kind of forgot about it. And I'm gonna put that on the higher points, and then I'm gonna go in with this matte shade, Saint and layer it kind of like an ombre look. So still on my cheek, just kind of layering the two, okay? So I'm gonna do the same. Actually, take Saint off. I'm just gonna do Royal with that lip liner. Now we have different sheens on our lips and cheek colors. If you're new to creams, you might like the matte colors a little bit better because they're not so shiny on your cheeks. But I promise the more your skin acclimates to this makeup, you won't care what you put on your cheek. If it's shiny or matte, it's gonna look amazing. So I've got that ombre lip and cheek, and now I'm going to blend it in and back to give my skin a beautiful flush of color. Isn't that pretty? It just blends in from that dot into perfection. So you can apply it with your finger and then blend it out with a brush, or you can just tap it into the blush with your brush and put it on that way. Either way works amazing. like I said, just learn to play with this makeup because you're going to find different techniques you like, different ways to apply it. Say you get your blush a little bit too high, highlight color, and just kind of diffuse it out just with one little tap so it's not so high up if that bothers you. So that literally is my lip and cheeks, my highlight and contour, and my bronzer. And then lastly, I like to add my illuminator, and mine is mixed with our Seint perfume. So you can apply it with a brush or your finger. And I typically go on the like high points of my cheeks. So when the light hits it, it gives that little extra bit of shimmer and glow. But this smells amazing. So if you can get one of our scented perfumes, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I could just wear this everywhere and all day, every day. I like to put it on my Cupid's bow. You can even put your illuminators on your lips, really wherever, to set the outer corner of my eye makeup. So I'm just going to press this darker brown, like cooler tone brown in the outer corner. And I always recommend tapping into your eyeshadows, tapping or swirling. I just kind of tap and then tap off the extra because they also are very pigmented. And then I will take the smaller side to frame my eye. And this just makes a world of a difference to make your eye stand out and get framed more. It's like night and day. So you just brush it along that lower lash line. And this eliminates me having to wear mascara or eyeliner because I just added a little bit of color. Okay, a step I don't want you to skip is getting your perfector ready. So you're gonna, before you even start your makeup, go under a faucet, drench, get all of this filled up with water. It's gonna expand, wring it out completely, and then put it in a paper towel to soak up any extra, and then it'll just feel damp and cold. That will be the consistency you want to press your makeup in. So it meshes all your creams together. Say you missed a spot on blending, this will actually blend it for you. But what's even cooler is it picks up any extra product that can very easily happen by getting too much on. So it will pick up that extra without taking all your makeup off because you got it damp. And then once I press it out once, I will take my setting spray again, same as I did in the beginning, press it into my sponge, and then that's how I'm going to set my makeup. Just press it in all over. Just like that. So that is my makeup, you guys. Let's see how my hair is. It just highlights and contours, but it still looks like my skin. It almost looks and feels like your skin is just super moisturized. So I just set my makeup by using my sponge and setting spray. And this is how I like to set my makeup most days because I love the dewy complexion. If you are oily or like a matte finish, you may want to set with a powder. Now we do have our vanilla dust, which also fits in our compact just like this. That comes in a bundle with a brush to apply it if you want to save money that way. But I do recommend trying out the makeup without the powder, and it might feel shiny, you might get oily. You can use our blotting paper, our shine paper. We just got that like a couple weeks ago. So that'd be great to touch up in those oily T-zone areas, but it won't give you any texture from powder. Because once you add powder, there's gonna be a little texture. Even on my skin, if you get in close, I still have texture, but the way the highlight colors and the contour colors work together to bounce light off of my face, it just kind of blurs things out and uses Color Science to color correct. My skin's not anywhere from perfect, but you can still, you know, see little lines and stuff like that. Like we've all got something going on. But I definitely challenge you to try the creamy finish. If you hate it, you can absolutely set with powder, or just give your skin time to acclimate and then slowly stop using the powder and see how you like the finish. But you can easily just tap out that oil throughout the day with those blotting sheets and still have like beautiful glowy skin. Your skin will take about 1 to 3 weeks to adjust to creams. So you might feel, especially if you're oily, that you're extra oily because you're using it. Give your skin time to adjust, just like changing up a skincare routine or a hair product. Our bodies need a little time to adjust to that change. It has very few ingredients, really high quality ingredients. Everything's made in the USA. It's just amazing. So I love it. If you want to set with a powder, you can also use your damp perfector sponge and get a little bit of powder on the sponge right there. And then because it's damp, it will kind of just blend into your makeup, but also mattify it at the same time. And it still feels so good, but it just takes a little bit of that shine away without a huge amount of powder on because you're just using a very tiny bit. See that? And it's nice and smooth. Just slightly mattified, just using a little bit of the tip of your perfector sponge into a setting powder like this. This is our vanilla dust. You can also use like Coty Airspun is a really cheap one from Walmart, Amazon or Target, Maybelline Fit Me. It doesn't matter which one you use as long as it's translucent so it doesn't add color. An expensive one that works amazing is the Laura Mercier, but that one is definitely a little bit pricey, and it comes in a jug, so it's something separate from your compact. I love the vanilla dust because it just fits right inside your compact. And then when you run out of a color, so our tins are gonna last you a really long time. The ones you're gonna go through the most are your highlight colors, just because you will be using most of that compared to the other, like the amount of it, you're gonna use more highlight than anything. So when you run out of a color, you're gonna take your fingernail, or if it's a little too tight in there, take the lid of your tops or a bobby pin or your eyebrow tweezers, just something to get in there, and you are going to pop it up just like that, okay? And you will take it out of your compact. You'll have one missing. Pretend this is empty. You'll go on the website. You'll order that one or add a couple to your cart, whichever, and you'll get the one in the mail and you'll replace it. So like I said, you just push it up, take it out. The name of the product is on the back, and you will just pop it into your compact, and it's all magnetic. So it fits right here in the palm of your hand. The way I like to travel with my makeup is I will take my travel bag, my compact, my brushes, my sponge, and our bottles are much smaller. They are this size. We have a gray one for our stay spray, so I will put my stay spray, and that's all your makeup in one. So what's cool too is you can travel with your makeup through TSA. The only thing that you'd have to switch out is putting this in a smaller bottle, or we have the travel size for ounces if you're gonna carry the liquids on. But everything else, the makeup itself, goes through security just fine. So I will pack my makeup in my carry-on or my purse anytime I fly, and they never check it, nothing. It is TSA approved, and it is perfect to travel with, and this is what you can take on the go. If you're a busy mom and you have places to go after you drop your kids off, do your makeup in the car. You have your compact, you have everything you need. It just fits fits with you on the go. My one thing I want you to remember, it is cream, so please, please, please don't leave it in your car. It will melt and it'll just be a big mess. Some of the product can be salvaged, but usually it kind of just blends all together. So please put it in your purse and take it into the store with you or into the business you're working at with you, just so it stays in a cooler spot. In the winter, if you leave it in the car or you don't get to your mailbox quite quick enough to pick up your package, the creams may be a little bit hard because it's so cold. So either warm them up with your finger and then use the dot method to warm it up on your face, or take your blow dryer and just hit it a few passes with the blow dryer, and that will warm up your makeup so it'll glide on your skin like butter. If it's too hard, you're gonna be like digging in and not loving how you're applying it. So just get it a little warm. This helped with getting started. Try both applications, play around with it, play with colors. Less is more. Tap into your products with your brushes, just 1 to 2, maybe 3 taps, and then blend it out on your face. You can always add more, but don't swipe into your compacts because you'll get way too much product on your brush and you won't be happy with the application. But I'm here every step of the way, so please message me if you have any questions.